A teacher in Houston, Texas has been arrested after threatening to kill one of his students. Benjamin Reese, a grade 7 social studies teacher, threatened to kill the student on December 8 at Werner Robbins Elementary School when he said this: "You motherfucking piece of shit. I'll kick your ass. I should cut your motherfucking head off." Reportedly, the incident took place around 3:30 p.m. on December 7th. The official report says the student wanted to talk to the teacher about the Israeli flag hanging in his classroom. The child expressed that she found it offensive. The teacher asked the student if it had anything to do with Judaism. She said that she wanted to know why it was there. He told the student that he was Jewish and he had family members who still lived in Israel. The student said that she found it offensive due to Israelis killing Palestinians. Reese told the student that she was being anti-Semitic, and then witnesses say Reese immediately afterward said this to the student: "He would kick her fucking ass, slit her goddamn throat, and drag her ass outside and cut her head off." The incident was caught on a school surveillance camera, but there was no audio. According to those same witnesses, the student negatively responded but was not yelling. The witnesses also say that the students left the classroom, but Reese followed them down the hallway. A deputy spoke to the witnesses, who included teachers, students, and school workers who were still in the school after hours, many of them engaging in tutoring and detention activities, and they did confirm the story. The deputy and principal Brett Wallace confronted Reese about what had happened. They asked him if he had threatened the student, but Reese became very defensive. The deputy then led Reese from the hallway to his classroom. The report says Reese was angry about the situation and kicked the doorstopper in an aggressive manner. A judge set Reese's bond for $2,500 for the terroristic threat charge and $5,000 for the charge of cruelty to children. Reese bonded out. Now, obviously, this kind of conduct is absolutely reprehensible. Now, people can understand much of the charged emotion around the situation between Israel and its ongoing genocide against Palestine. But to be in this situation and threaten to murder a child is just simply unacceptable. I can understand tempers flaring between two adults and them getting a bit out of hand and saying things to each other along these lines. It's still not legal, but I can understand it happening. But to actually go to the point of saying this to a child is just simply unacceptable. But we do notice, however, that this is not national news. A teacher threatening to murder a student isn't getting the national airtime it normally would. However, had this been a Muslim who had threatened a student, it would be all over the national news. And US President Joe Biden would be commenting personally to the media about this, condemning anti-Semitism and making all kinds of the usual statements that would be made in this situation. But the mainstream media, for the most part, has been incredibly quiet about this, once again, taking most of the pro-Israel narrative and pushing that and silencing most of the voices, if not all of the voices, that are anti-Israel. For example, all of the journalists in the past 2 or 3 months who have lost their jobs for being pro-Palestine, not to mention the astronomical amount of journalists that have been killed by Israeli bombs inside this entire conflict, which is even greater than some of the longer running wars that the world has even seen. That organizations like Reporters Without Borders have been, organizations with reporters have been trying to tell the public has been going on, but the mainstream media, which are supposed to be journalists, have been essentially ignoring them. But this is, large in part about much of the rhetoric that is coming out about Israel. People dancing in the street, cheering on the murder of Palestinian children and all kinds of other horrid acts that are being recorded and being put out for the world to see, but the mainstream media just isn't covering them. And that does definitely show a pro-Israeli bias, because Israel is an ally of the United States, not out of any kind of idea about any conspiracy. It's really just general international politics as it usually functions. And this is the real media and real life landscape that the Palestinians have to deal with on a daily basis. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.